This is Dave T1963, and just like everyone else, I'm getting all my gear ready for hunting season. And I wanted to share two quick tips for kayak hunting that'll save you a little bit of money and aggravation. One of the things is one of the noisiest parts of a kayak is actually these scupper holes. If you leave these unplugged, water will splash around in these holes. That's how they're made, to where there's air actually that runs in between, and you'll get all kinds of popping noises as water splashes in there. So what I do typically is I'll take a little bit of just cheap Walmart plastic bag and I'll stuff it inside another one and then tape it up. But what this allows you to do is you can then force this down into that hole and press it down, and it'll stop that splashing noise. Makes a huge difference on those early mornings paddling in. You're trying to sneak in to stop these up. Now you could use regular scupper plugs, but in some of these kayaks, this is so small they actually can't use a scupper, a normal scupper in here. So I use this plastic bag, and what I really like about the plastic bag is it's not 100% watertight. So if water does get in here, it does allow it to drain. The second tip is I'm going to save you some money on buying those things that keep water from dripping in your kayak. One of the probably the most annoying things about kayaking, and especially hunting out of a kayak when it's freezing, is water dripping off your paddle and getting on your legs and inside your kayak and stuff. And you're not going to stop at 100%, but they actually sell devices that slip onto your paddles and stop that. But this is what I do. I get electrical tape and I'll put a piece right here on the blade of my paddle, and then I'll go about an inch forward where it attaches to the actual handle, and I'll put another piece of electrical tape. And just like the things you buy for $8-9, the water will run down your paddle, run down your handle, and drip right off this tape. Very cheap. Most of you probably already have electrical tape, so cheap modification. Another thing I do, which I need to tack this back down, is I put Velcro on the sides of my kayak where I might make contact while I'm paddling, and that just stops. I don't know if you can hear the difference here, but it'll stop some of the noise from that. Same thing with where I put my bow up front. I've put Velcro down here, and then I put some pad eyes in here and hooked up a bungee cord to where I can put my bow, my sticks right here. My pack goes in the back right here. I keep this in my kayak at all times. This is what I use to throw over the two hooks in the bed of my truck to tie this thing down. But got the scupper holes. My pack will go right here. My lunch, anything I'm carrying like that. Once again, I've rigged up pretty strong bungee cords that are expandable. One thing I typically do is I'll put like a loop of paracord on here with different loops on it, to where as I maybe stack things up and get higher and higher, I can put further out on the loop and make it longer, make it adjustable. Now, someone the other day said you can't pack a deer out in this kayak. This is an Emotions kayak, 10-foot kayak, and I packed 2 deer out on this thing last year. Now, what I do with the deer is all my gear went right back here. My bow, my pack, my sticks, everything went right there and bungeed it down. I drug the deer up in here and threw him right on the seat. Okay? I climbed on top of the deer, and that's where I sat. Okay? Was it comfortable? It wasn't real comfortable. I only had, in one instance, only about a half mile to paddle. The other one, maybe 3/4 of a mile, but it worked. And one was across a pretty significant arm of a reservoir, so the water got pretty choppy, and it got hairy. I mean, I was riding low in this kayak. It was definitely sitting down in the water, but I carried a full-size buck that was field dressed, all my hunting gear for the day, and myself. I weighed 200 pounds, 205 pounds, and all that I carried out on this kayak, a 10-foot Emotions kayak. In my new canoe, it is no problem at all. My 12-foot F12 new canoe, I don't even know how many deer I've packed out in that thing. I've had that thing, gosh, 7 or 8 years now. And it's without a doubt, it is the best hunting kayak I've ever used. So I say they're gaining traction and getting pretty popular with the deer hunting crowd. So that's a good thing. Anyway, a couple tips to save you some money. Dave T1963 out.